Hello. Ooh, let me make sure. Let me make this off. So I wanted to jump on here and show you guys my vision board and kind of explain my method to my madness. And then I just wanted to break down for you my goals board as well, so that you can see how my brain works a little bit, and yours might be completely different, and that's 100% okay. I also have another board. It's not really a goals board, but it helps me with tracking, with relationships, with making sure I don't drop the ball, and that I follow up with everyone too. So I wanted to, before I show you my board, I just wanted to tell you guys, so I never have made a vision board, which is so crazy. Hey, Erin. Which is so crazy, and I can tell you why. I had this fear around making a vision board, and one, I'm like super A-type personality. So, hey, Erin, have you ever made a vision board? I don't know if you're still on, but I'm super A-type personality, and I wanted it to always be perfect. And like all of the vision boards I ever saw were like on poster board, and like you glue the stuff on. And my thought was, well, what if I complete it? Or what if that's no longer a goal for me? Or what if it just doesn't look good and I have to look at this thing? And that I was letting these little things like stress me out, and also these little things I think become excuses for reasons that I didn't create one. So someone had invited me to a vision board party, and I'm like, why not? I'm gonna go. I barely brought any materials with me, but what I did bring with me was a cork board. So I decided to do mine on like a bulletin board and then get pins. So I just got that bulletin board from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and I think it was $6, and I had a 50% off coupon, so it was like $3 for that. And then the pins were super cheap. So for me, I was like, okay, step one, like I can totally do this. And they had like an ugly oak border around it, so I just took spray paint, like I taped it off and just sprayed it so that it would look at least decent in my office. And I went to this vision board party, and there were all of these super crafty, super creative girls, and it was like totally giving me like some anxious heart and like some anxiety, because I'm like, theirs are so good, they know exactly what they're doing. Like I knew what my vision was and I knew what my goals were. I just didn't know how to like convey that on paper or like on a board. And my husband looks at this too, so I didn't really know what I wanted it to look like. But there was a girl there, and she had this magazine I think she got from Sprouts, and it had like a bunch of quotes and a bunch of words. But for me, I didn't want it to be a bunch of words. I wanted it to be things that I could like look at and that would symbolize something for me. So like there's right there, there's like a golf ball, because I want to start playing golf more and like get better. There's a couple quotes. There's, this thing is really cool. This is like a whiteboard cardstock, so you can write on it whatever your goal is, then you can erase it, and then you can write your next goal, which is kind of cool. So I thought that would be great, because it's like a vision board / goals board. And then this is like some outdoor furniture and indoor furniture that I want, a trip I'm going for, and I'll turn around and show you it. But that's how it worked best for me. There was another girl there that she is like totally a words person, so she had these little squares like this size, so not super big, but she had like cardstock, and then on each cardstock she put words that like define whatever her goal is or her vision for that specific area. That would like totally stress me out. Like I wouldn't want to look at it, and I wouldn't want to, no, I just couldn't do it. So let me show you mine. And then like I have, pay off this, and then on the back it has how much, goals to get to like financially. This might mean something different to you. For me, it means, go at least a couple times a week. One trip, I'm like super trip motivated, so I have 3 trips on here. It's funny. And then like rank and money, and then some awards. So it just really depends on what is in your vision that you guys write out. So here's the great thing too, is that this can be a 6-month vision board, this can be a year, this can just be something that you eventually want to happen. So you put it on there, and when it happens, you get to take it down. Maybe you put it and save it in like a binder. But it can really be whatever you want it to be. If you want to do a vision board every month, that might be a little overwhelming. I would do maybe like what you want to happen in the next year. That would be a little better. So goals wise, now that I know where I want to be, so I want to be right there. That's the title and like the promotion and like the place that I want to be monetarily with my company. So when I turn this around, this is how I track things. So I have like squares because I like to cross off, and I like to be able to like X out, and I like to be able to write their names because it's people, not just enrollments, if that makes sense. And then like I'm tracking my points for our Disney incentive. Down here is like a different tracking method. I'm tracking my team size and things like that. So these would be goals, and you'll notice I have from July 30th to November 18th. So I gave myself kind of 90 days to do that. And then this isn't necessarily a goals board, but I like to do my goals on a whiteboard so then I can erase them, draw, fix, changed, all of those things. But this is more of like a team organizational chart, and this is kind of like how the compensation structure is kind of broken down. I don't want to show you all the names, but how the compensation structure is broken down. Maybe if I go this way, you can't read them. So like we have a left leg and a right leg. So I keep track of who's in each, like what position or title they're at, and then who's on their team that's really working, and maybe building. And then I have these two people right here, or two lists. This is my left leg and my right leg. These are just my customers. And then I have people who have maybe fallen out of certain statuses here so that I can track them a little bit differently. So I like it because when I'm sitting at my desk, if I look to my left, I have my goals board and my people board, and I look to my right, and every time I walk into my office, I look at my vision board. I also have, I'll show you, you nappers. My dad's in town, and him and my husband took a nap. I also have this in my bedroom, and this is, these are different ranks that you can get, and then this is what you need to hit each rank, and then this is the monetary value that goes to each rank. So I have that in my bedroom because I look at it when I lay in bed every single morning, every single night, before I shut off the light. And that way it's like the first thing that I look at when I wake up, the first thing I look at when I go to bed. So again, it's like giving your brain that thing to like look at and to think about, so that way it starts making things happen without you even realizing it. So wanted to show you guys my boards. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm super excited to hear about your 5 minutes reflections and your vision letters.